Pew 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 pew. All right, in all seriousness, we are reviewing SIG P211. Hey everyone, welcome to First Look. This is the series where we do unboxing of new hot guns and we show it to you and we tell you if it's a good value or maybe not so good. And as always, big thank you to Main Street Guns and Range, our local Atlanta gun range that provided us with the guns for you to review. And if you want to visit them, here's the address. They work from 10 in the morning until 10 p.m. They are a great range and we definitely recommend them. Before we look into this gorgeous P211, that is probably the biggest hotness right now on the internet, let's look what do you actually get for around $2,300 to $2,500 for a pistol. It comes in this, I would say, very generic box. Inside, you get the stuff that the locks, the paperwork. I think actually SIG gives you a free month for the app, just nothing really for the price. A cool thing, they give you different color sights. If you want the front sight to be red or green, you can, and a little tool to remove it and unlock the gun. Nice part of that is they give you a separate spring. I think this is a 10-pound spring and the one in pistol is 8 pounds. So for you guys who like to shoot 2011s, you know what that's for. And with another very nice part of it is SIG gives you two 21 rounders and they all come with a pretty nice extended base plate like this. It's not a bad package, but I would really want for SIG to do something a little more nice, especially for the price that you're paying for this pistol. For $2,300, you can go with a Daniel Defense rifle if you really want to, and lifetime warranty and all of that as well. We'll come back to it. So very unimpressive box for SIG, but the box is not what we're here for. It's the pistol. Now GTO is SIG answer to a 2011 crowd. If, for example, you wanted to buy a 2011 and you were looking maybe at Staccato, I think SIG is jumping in the same category saying, hey, we're technically a little cheaper than Staccato and we are allowing you a beautiful quality gun that you can purchase. So I think the marketing for SIG is mostly for a competitor shooters or law enforcement with this P211. I really don't think a regular Joe 2011 lover will go for this SIG. So let's go and kind of review good things about the gun. I think you can hear that. The first impression that you get from this gun is, for some reason, everything just makes noise. There's a lot of movement in this gun that makes weird noises. The trigger moves, and you can see it, hear it on the mic. The rear safety moves a lot, making noises. The barrel obviously moves. It moves even without it. The compensator jumps and makes a little more sounds than I normally expect it to. So when I started playing with a gun, I was like, wait a second, why there's so many little noises that come up from anything? But aside of that, the entire gun is made of steel, so it is pretty hefty. Let's throw it on our trusty scale. Without a magazine, the gun by itself, no bullets, is 40.7 ounces. And magazine by itself is 4.1 ounces. So you almost at 50 ounces for the gun. It is pretty hefty, I would say. Very nice feel in my hand. The steel makes the gun cold, so when you pick it up, it feels very nice. The grips are G10 grips, and for a 2011, they are removable, which is not easy to find. So if you want maybe nice wooden sides, you can always change them up. The gun comes with a huge magwell extension. So again, I'm saying pointing out to a law enforcement or USPSA competitors. The one thing that you need to know before buying it, of course, it is a single action trigger. And what I mean by that is if your gun is not cocked and you depress two different safeties that we're going to talk about, your gun won't shoot. So there's two ways on how to cock it. You either have to manually do it with your finger, or you have to charge your gun by moving the hammer all the way into a firing position. So if you like that system, then of course this is a great gun to choose. I'm myself not a big fan of a single action trigger. I do prefer more double action triggers, or even better, a striker fire pistols are kind of my go-to. Now, a couple of reasons why. With 2011s, it comes with two separate safeties. So you have the actual manual safety that you can engage. For the manual safety to be engaged in a single fire, you have to cock the trigger. So as you can see, it is ambidextrous on both sides. With a safety depressed and hammer cocked, nothing's going to happen because this is your manual safety. Now you can put your manual safety down, but again, you have a back safety here as well that needs to be depressed. So that will also not work. And only with a full grip where you're holding with the palm of your hand the back safety and depressing the manual safety, then your single fire will fire. You're technically going to carry this gun cocked, but with the manual safety on. And for some reason, I'm just not a big fan of that. Now, when you're going to take your gun out of the holster, before you're able to shoot and put the first round on the target, you have to depress the safety and have a nice grip for that rear safety to be engaged. And as you can hear, man, every time, it's such a loud safety. Hear it out. It's like a bell on your gun. It makes so much noise. I wonder if later with the carbon build-up, it's going to be a little more not as loud, but I don't know. Right now, it's just a little bell on the top of your gun. So I guess if you're paying $2,500, they include a little bell. But I'm not a big fan of that system. I do prefer having a safety on your trigger like this and not having a manual safety that I have to depress when I'm engaging or something like that, because seconds matter. And yes, I know everybody will always say, yeah, but with my training, I'm just going to unflick that safety every single time. But errors happens, and I sometimes see shooters using the safety and flicking the safety while shooting. If your grip is in this position, for example, sometimes you can actually click your gun into safety. So yes, it matters training, of course, but you gotta know this before buying it. All right, one of the marketing things that SIG employed is they put a lot of attention into the compensator that they installed on this gun. And they made it look like it's super impressive. It's a jet compensator, which I understand that it is 3D printed. And as you can see, so what it does is it has a cutout at the top. So majority of the gas goes to the top. And then inside of the compensator, it has a path through, and it redirects the gas to the sides. And they 3D printed it. You can see the material is like it has that 3D printed shape, and it doesn't look bad, but you definitely gotta notice that it looks weird. It looks like it has more porous material where definitely the gases are gonna stick to. I wonder how the cleaning is gonna happen with it going forward, because there is enough space for the gases to go back to the barrel, and I can clearly see a light passing through it. So I guess we'll see the performance of it, but to be honest, this is the compensator on my M&P, and it does exactly the same thing, but it's built out of one single piece of aluminum. Is it any better or worse? I cannot tell you. I haven't shot this gun. This is our first look, but I wouldn't put too much trust into saying, oh, this gives you 50% reduction. I think on the website they said 30% reduction. 30% reduction is your kind of average reduction in muzzle jump after a shot. And from the shooting videos, I really didn't see anything crazy. But again, yeah, they're marketing it for being 3D printed, having jet cutouts on both sides. So yeah, I think it's just a marketing talk to make this gun a little more expensive. If anything goes wrong with the compensator, I'm sure SIG can just 3D print you another one and fully replace it if something goes wrong. But if you're buying a gun for $2,700, or $2,500 if you can find it on a deal. I don't want to be liable in a situation and say, oh, the gun fell this way or that way, or I just shot too much, or something's going to happen where 3D printed material is going to shatter. Now, we know that there's 3D printed suppressors. There's a lot of technology that comes with 3D printing, and it is robust and it's in a good quality. So I guess the time will tell how good this compensator is. And another thing I wanted to mention is if you weight this gun, it's 45.1 ounces without having any bullets in there. And you're normally going to carry either 21 or 25 round magazines. This is 21 plus, it's probably 2 more rounds, so it's a 23 round magazine. So it's going to add some more weight. Now, if you are law enforcement, I think it's a little too heavy and a little too pricey for a duty gun. Is it a good quality? I would say it is, from at least what I can see. Yes, it is. Do you want to spend that much money for this gun? I don't think you have to. You can always go with standard Glock. It will not fail you. You can go with something like this M&P that has everything that this gun has. And in my opinion, even more without having the extra safeties. The way I look at it is there's more mechanical movement, the more little parts to fail. And again, this is built on 1911, and we know how tough those guns are. But again, with more and more development, we just introduce more and more items that can potentially fail. So this is another reason why I'm not a big fan of 2011 guns. And of course, the price. Price is, I think, the biggest thing for me. Knowing that I'm paying so much for something that is not in any way better to anything like this gun is, which is, it's also on a more expensive side. This one, I think, was $1,100, but it is a limited production gun. And as you can see, they didn't put a nitride sight on both of them. So just saying. And it is aluminum, so this gun is 32 ounces without a magazine. So I guess, I don't know how much more weight do you need to have a better shooting, or does it actually just take more skill and mastery of a gun to have a good flat shooting pistol? So what I'm trying to say is the money that you're going to spend on this gun won't make you a better shooter. But the training that you can put into this gun will definitely make you a better shooter. And of course, the platform will allow you to do better, right? All right. Final thoughts on the gun in our first review. Is it great, gorgeous, and is it hotness on the block? Absolutely. Everybody is talking about it. People will ask, people will try to handle this gun because it's new, it's SIG, it looks super cool. Does that worth $2,500, $2,700? That's probably what you're going to buy this for. I guess you can answer that for yourself before going and buying it. In my opinion, I would wait and probably see if I can get this gun on sale a little bit later when the price will drop, which probably it will. And it's not a limited production gun, so you have nothing to worry about it. They will be available. But of course, it's very cool. It's nice that somebody is challenging Staccato in their own realm. And we'll see how this gun will perform. All right, well, thank you so much for watching. Please subscribe, please leave a like. Please let me know in the comments if you would buy this gun, if you like 2011s at all. Do you prefer single action or double actions? And we'll see you in the chat. All right, thank you guys. See you later.